Hey guys, and welcome back. So, in today's episode, we are going to be doing skillet fried pork chops and a nice brown gravy to go with it. And when you start, you want to find these ones are the butterfly. Okay, we'll just cut them. These are butterfly chops. But you want to try to find some of the thinnest cut pork chops you can get. So we're just going to run a knife through these. Just kind of slice them off. That's kind of what you're looking for right here. Okay, and now you don't have to use a big cast iron like I am, but I prefer the flavor that you get out of good seasoned cast iron skillet. And when we go to make the brown gravy, this is going to make it even better. I'm just seasoning these with, if you can find this stuff, this is Morton's Season All, but seasoned salt is the same thing. I prefer it over regular salt just because it has a better flavor. And then when we do the gravy, it's going to consist of our three main spices will be that seasonal, some black pepper, and garlic powder. And some chicken stock. Now, this is a common misconception that, at least in the South, there's two different kinds of frying. So there's deep frying, which uses, I would fill this pan either half or a little bit more with regular cooking oil. And then typically that is breaded or battered things that go in there that are fried. This is another kind of frying that we do here. And this is essentially, I'm going to add a little bit of oil, but this is a pretty dry skillet, and what we're hoping for is this fat along the edges of these pork chops. That and a little bit of regular vegetable oil will become our oil base for our gravy. So I use my squirt bottle of vegetable oil here and just put some in there. And remember, anything you see here, you can make this like, if you wanted to try gluten-free, you could use a non-wheat flour for your gravy. You could use any other kind of flour you wanted. If you're feeling fancy, for the gravy you can use olive oil, you can use coconut oil, sunflower oil. Any of those will work just fine. What you're looking for with your oil when you make the gravy is the fat content out of it. That will help Um, that's what helps cook the gravy without burning. Essentially, the oil is the catalyst for the gravy, or the flour in this gravy, because you're going to brown the flour and cook it, but you don't want to burn it. So I will show you more when these pork chops get a little bit more long and we have to flip them. Okay, just wanted to show you guys this real quick, and apologies in advance for the vent fan on the stove, but this nice crusty color right here, this is kind of what we're looking for. And of course, you know, not yet. Take caution with all your pork products, just like the chicken. You don't want it to be pink in the middle. So, one more thing I want to show you here is, see this nice color that we're getting out of this? This is kind of what we're looking for. And I don't know if you can see it, if the camera will show it really well, but we're starting to get some nice fat content in the bottom. I'll show you that when we get to that. So, we're getting a little bit further along. Oh dear Lord, did y'all hear that bite from the tire? He jacked out right behind me. Getting further along with these pork chops. They are almost done. I'll show you what one looks like when it is. So that nice white color in the middle is what we're looking for with no pink. And you want to make sure you get that with all your pork chops. So, the skillet fried pork chops have turned out looking very delicious, if you ask me. And so now we are on to the gravy. Now, just in case you thought we were going to get rid of all that lovely fat and oil content and all the bottom and all that at the bottom of this pan, we are actually going to deglaze the pan and use this as the base for our gravy. So in order to do that, with the heat all the way off, we're going to add just a little bit of our chicken broth, and then grab a good spatula here and make it better. What we're going to do is loosen up all those bad fat drippings and whatnot from the bottom of the pan. And then we'll add this back to our bowl of broth to go in there later. Now back in our skillet. Oops, wrong door. We're going to turn it down to a nice medium heat. And I'm going to add some oil, maybe a little bit more. Into that, we are going to add our flour. Now, it's important in this step that so your flour doesn't clump up, And we may have a little bit too much flour. We're going to have to add some more oil to that. It's important in this step to continue to make sure that you get a consistent roux and that your gravy is not lumpy, because many a fights have been had over two things, ladies and fellers, and that is lumps in the gravy and lumps in the taters. Now, I'm of a mind that your gravy should not ever have lumps in it for any reason. But if your taters have some lumps, well, that's forgivable. We can allow that. But everybody likes their taters different. Some people like taters with lumps in them. Some people don't like taters with lumps in them. It's all preference when it comes to the taters. But your gravy should not be lumpy, because that means your flour ain't cooked through. And just uncooked flour in your gravy just tastes nasty. You get a bite of that good old gravy, and next thing you know, you got that little bit of flour right there in your mouth, and it just don't sit well with you. But as you can see, we're consistently whisking here, and you can see it cooking in and browning. We're getting this nice consistent cooking pattern going on here. A little bit of bubbling, and we're getting more and more brown. We want it as brown as possible before we go and add our stock to finish this gravy off. So we've got a good bubbling going on there. And we're letting it brown just a little bit more before we add that stock back in. So we'll keep letting it brown, and I will show you what it looks like when it's browned enough. So that's about as brown as we're going to be able to get this one, which means that we have to do this very quickly and add our stock back into that mixture and continue whisking. Making sure we're getting everything off the bottom of the pan, because this is the part where if you don't whisk it just right, as you can see, it's beginning to thicken, and it's thickened considerably. It will turn to nothing but a big lump. I'm going to go ahead and turn this heat right on down. And just keep whisking. Whisking all those lumps out of there. We don't want no lumps in the gravy. So now we've reached the point where it is time to season it. You want some pepper. Don't get shy with the pepper. Pepper's good. Some seasoned salt. And some garlic powder. And we'll whisk that in and I'll show you what it looks like. And that should be the finished product of what your brown gravy looks like if you did it right the first time. If not, it's understandable. This might take you 1, 2, 7 tries to get right, but eventually if you just keep working at it, you'll get there.
How does it taste?
How does it taste? Oh, that's good. That's a very good chickeny pork flavor to it. It's delicious. Alright, that's it for this time, guys. Thank you.